brought to you by Marvel Legends Mobius. Get your Owen Wilson on. Wow!
Did we?
So last session, we were in the city of Halron. We needed to get an item from the core, and basically, if we were able to disable the core, then we were going to be able to also liberate Halron. So we, along with the help of this person that we met that could turn into a tiger, infiltrated the tunnels and made it to the core. When we got there, there was Gort, and Gort didn't want us taking the core. And so we had to fight our way through, and then we were kind of playing hot potato a little bit with the core. But eventually we were able to get the item out of the core itself, and then we put it back in. Gort ran off, and we booked it back the way we came, and there was a huge explosion. The core exploded, and it actually kind of, I guess, imploded instead. But and so Halron was liberated. We got the last piece of the item that we needed, and we basically saved the day and freed it's like somebody. It was like a angel or something.
Did we have assumed since we leveled that we've rested, right? No.
Oh my god.
What was the first feature of the bracelets? You said I missed getting it down.
They can overcome. They could overcome dispel magic for the purposes the purposes of counterspelling.
Okay, and then also overcome spell immunities as long as they're lower level.
Yeah.
So what do we think, gang?
I mean, these seem helpful.
Do we have to make a decision as a group, or can we like?
You each have your own like bracelets, so you can decide what you want to do with them. So each of you effectively has $3,000 from that, and you can choose to combine them or pass them on however you wish.
But Pax didn't get one, right?
No, Pax had a pair because there were 5.
Okay.
They were expecting Gort, and he ran off.
Well, Gort also didn't have magical powers, so.
Oh, that's true.
That's not good to breathe in the burning.
It's not on fire right now.
Oh, I thought I smelled it burning.
It was, and then I blew it out.
Oh, okay.
Burn in.
I think Pax will keep the bracelets.
Okay.
I'm holding on to mine.
Okay.
I think Nikolai probably will too. What should we call them on our sheet?
I did not come up with a good name for them. So bracelets of preventing spell prevention. I don't know. Like that's not a good name.
It goes under gear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call mine. Snazzy
Oh, I
Brain.
already have it.
Okay.
I think Snazzy Bracelets does all the information I need.
Additionally, beyond the 3,000, each of you will be given $5,000 worth the merchandise that you can acquire from the spoils of things.
$5,000. Wow.
Or 5,000 gold.
Darn it.
You don't want dollars; they're worth less.
So is that meaning like we have credit somewhere, or are we?
You have credit that you can use towards the value of objects in a pool of useful things. This pool is very large, so I didn't come up with a list for it. This will be kind of an ask for something that you want, and I'm going to give a chance that it will be available. If it's there, then congratulations. If not, then nope. And you can combine your money together if you want to specifically try to get something bigger. It is your choice.
So this wouldn't include like potions. It's more like equipment.
There are potions in there if you wanted to ask them for potions as well. There are also some higher level items. There are some items that would go into like a building, or like, you know, if you needed magical supplies. But there is no room for researching here. So close focused eyes should move away from that. Close focused eyes. So like, don't be reading the wiki to try to find what you want for your answer here.
Okay.
Wiki, you're so cute. I would never think to do that. Are there balms of like cure whatever wounds?
Yes, there are. They can be applied to another person as a full round action.
And for people who are unconscious?
Yes.
And are they more expensive than
They are the same price as a normal potion.
Okay, I would like to acquire some Cure Serious potions and
Ooh,
balms.
Cure Series. So they have a stock number, or they have a certain number of those. Let's see how many they have.
How much would it take to get that curse removed from that player?
The curse is gone.
The death curse is removed. He told me today. So
Oh.
I just have one level of energy drain that it'll take another
5 days. You got another 5 days before it's
Another
removed.
50 days.
Technically, Steven, it's been a week in the real world, so that
No.
could count as a week in the game.
No. You said how many potions of Cure Series did you want to buy?
Well, I guess it depends partially how much there.
Yeah, 1 sec.
To buy a bandolier of bombs for around their waist, that way they can just kind of like lob them at people.
Serious is the 3rd level one, right? Yeah. Yeah. Light, moderate, serious, critical.
Oh, there's a critical?
Yeah, but you can't get that in potion form.
Can you get it as a balm?
You can, but it is like significantly more expensive.
Okay.
You're really gonna freak out when you discover there's a final one called Heal.
They are 750 gold.
Okay. Well, first I guess I should see if there's anything pricey other people want to buy before I go spending my money.
But I did make the roll for the number of Cure Serious, so they are available.
Thank you.
Any other like gear-related things that you are looking for? Gear or other like miscellaneous equipment? And the more expensive, the harder it's going to be for you to find them.
I was wondering if one of my talismans got used up. I was wondering if they perhaps had any talismans that I could add to my necklace.
You need to ask for a specific one, and then I will check.
The specific one is healing power.
Okay. Let me pull it up and see what the chance of it is. So you had a lesser talisman of healing power?
I did.
Okay. Yes.
What could
they do? So you can set aside that you have the 5,000 GP and then take away 2,400 GP for it.
Okay.
You don't take anything, they will randomly assign you things so they can get through the value. Right now, though, as far as current items you have AC-wise, you guys have amulets, you guys have armor, and you guys have rings, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the only thing Niev really would be thinking of is maybe upgrading like items that she already has. Like if they had like say a 1 step greater like ring of protection, like a +3 ring of protection.
It's outside of the like amount of money that they have partitioned out.
Yeah, it's dramatically more.
Yeah.
Do they have any stronger amulets?
You guys are at amulets 2 or amulets 3?
3.
Amulets 3.
Nah, that's not within.
How about an amulet 2?
An amulet 2. They do have. Wow, good rolling.
How much is that?
The Amulet of Natural Armor 2 is gonna eat. It's 4. Oh no, it's 8 for a +2.
Oh.
So, well, they have it. It is outside of what you have available to you, unless people want to pool some of the money together. Because I'm assuming that's not for you. That would be for somebody else.
That's for Katri.
Yeah.
Katri has a +1 amulet only.
Would the Amulet of Natural Armor be better than a Ring of Protection?
They're fundamentally the same. So, but they're different types of AC bonus.
I'm thinking because I realized Pax doesn't have anything like that. So if I pulled money from Nikolai and Pax, I could get her the level 2 amulet.
Okay.
So if we were trading in for Katri, though, could we like use the value of the 1 amulet that he already has?
They won't do any sort of trade-ins. They're not doing this as like a sales thing. This is them going through like the miscellaneous stuff they've acquired from the city.
Okay, so Constag, what if you give that amulet to Pax and we give you money towards level 2 amulet for Katri?
That'd be fine with me.
Okay.
Okay.
So then calculate it so that $8,000 goes away from that pool, in whatever way you're going to do it.
So I assume the animal companions don't get their own pool of money.
They do not get their own pool of money.
Does Pax get?
Pax
her
does
own
get
pool?
her own money, yes.
Okay, so.
They had an
Comstock,
allocation for 5
I'll pay
people,
3.
and there are 5 people.
Yeah.
So I will put on a Amulet of Natural Armor 1 for Pax.
How about a Myrtlin's magical spoon?
Well, they don't have it by that name, but that's the thing that makes infinite gruel, right?
I believe so. Maybe spoon of stirring?
It's called. They call it a sustaining spoon now. And don't you have a ring of sustenance though?
Oh no, it's not for me. It's a gift.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm the only one with the Ring of Sustenance.
They do in fact have one. Normally it would go for about 5,000, or 5,400, but they would let it go for your full 5,000. But they do say that like part of why they're willing to do this is whatever it makes tastes like warm, wet cardboard.
Yeah, that is how that works.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Okay.
Where's our goblin friend?
He is not here with you, but you can bring it back to him.
I'm bringing it back to him and giving it to him.
I'm willing to give my remaining money to anybody if someone like needs something. I have 2,600 left.
That means there's about 5,600 left, right? Because the amulet was bought, and then there's 10,600 left.
Yeah, I have, what? I have, wait, you gave us 5,000 each.
Right, if we assume
I
that...
have 7,000.
Right, plus the extra... No, hold on. So, if Comstock took 5,000 plus 3,000, that leaves you with 2,000 from that. Then you're 5,000. I'm the one doing the math wrong. So, I'm sorry, 9,600.
So I would like to get, Jess, can I take, calculator. Can I have 500 from you? That
Yeah,
way I'll
sure.
be able to get 10. Can I do 5 balms and 5 potions of Cure Serious?
You can? Yes.
Would anybody like to carry any of those? Otherwise, I'll split
I'll
them
carry
between
a
Pax and
couple.
Nikolai. Okay, so do you want like 2 of each?
Yeah. So 2 balms and 2 potions of Cure Serious.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I got a lot of stuff on me.
So that will use up all of my money plus
That's
500.
a lot of
Leon's
healing.
remaining money.
We're healing for Bear. Not to mention I have...
So yeah, I guess then we just have 2,100 left. And I don't really have anything specifically that I want. So if you want to, like, I guess roll up random, that's fine.
Okay. There was how much left? Sorry.
2,100.
2,100. Exactly the chart I'm rolling on.
Do you have a character sheet for oh my god, why can't I think of the name? Oh buddy.
Pax?
Hadhub?
Or Hadhub? Yeah. Yeah. Hadhub has a character sheet.
Okay, could you actually give him 1 balm and 1 potion of the Cure Serious?
Sure.
I'm gonna put the spoon in a nice gift box for Head Hop and have it wrapped.
Okay.
Pizza is killing me.
Here, what did I get? I got 20. Okay, I think that's actually going to work out well. Think any of you have anything in that slot? They will give you a pair of Eyes of the Eagle. A pair of lenses that you can put on that will give you a +5 bonus to your perception check. But only for one of you, so figure out who's getting it.
Should we give it to the person with the highest perception, or maybe the second highest perception?
Maybe
I'm
the
still-
second highest.
Yeah.
Who's second highest? It's
Not around.
Let me look at my bonus. So I have a bonus of 16 to my perception. I'm basically maxed out for my level.
That's higher than either of my characters.
What do you have, Constar?
+20.
Okay, so I think you have the second highest.
Okay, so Eyes
You
of
don't
the
already
Eagle.
have glasses on, do you?
No.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, Niev, you will get a message from Kandor.
Oh.
Ooh.
The message will say, I can tell that you were successful. There is not a lot of time to play too many games or move about too much. Make the next actions you make purposeful, and get back here as soon as you are finished with them. Make sure you've acquired anything and everything that you might need for the worst possible thing that you could ever imagine happening. And do it quickly.
I will let the rest of the group know what Kandor said.
Oh my God, they're going to be out of journals?
No, it's everybody's getting zeros.
Those are all examples of colon usage. You all get Fs. But
How far? What's the distance between here and where we're going?
so Harveston is 130 miles from Fort Jericho.
There's still the door we can use?
There is still the door that you can use, yes.
Okay, so.
Well, the painting that you can use.
Sure.
But is there anywhere you want to go before you go to Harveston?
Nope.
It sounds like we should prioritize getting back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're pretty well stocked up on stuff.
All right, let me ask you one final question then before you do this, because this is like in those video games where they try to remind you that, like, you only get one more option to make any additional decisions before you are locking in the final steps of what is about to happen. There will be no ability to change your direction without consequences. How much money do all of you have that is not currently being used?
I have 1,209 GP.
Oh, this is going to be pretty good. 6,654 gold, 88 platinum piece, 4,000 in sapphires, 11,000.
Wait, did you say 4,000 in sapphires?
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been 4,000 in sapphire. Did I? Or did he just not use anything?
I'm not buying anything. Everything I want is too expensive. The Ring of Wizardry for second level is like 30,000 gold or something.
Okay,
like
keep going from everybody. We'll go back to Charles in a minute, and we'll explain something very important. Whitney, how much do you have?
I have 167 platinum and 246 gold for Nikolai, and 16 platinum for Pax, and 5,011 gold plus some copper and silver.
Okay. And Comstock, how much do you have?
167 platinum and 1,595 gold. And then most of it.
Okay.
What?
So grand total, you are about ready to commit to a no way back scenario while you are still holding nearly 60,000 GP.
So maybe we should get you your thing, Erasmus.
The Ring of Wizardry, which I was saving for. Here's the thing: the Type 2, which doubles our second level spells, is 40,000 gold pieces.
I mean, I'm fine cashing in. Or to whatever else that people want to do that is pricier. It seems like somebody is trying to hint at us that we shouldn't just have all this money hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to do that, I think it's pretty great.
Okay. Where do you want to go to try to get this?
Yeah.
Is
I'm
North
gonna
Point off the table? Or would we know that it's probably not a good idea to go there?
You would have no way to know whether or not North Point has any sort of problems at it.
I thought someone told us that basically Blacksmith Inc. wanted to do... Was that out of character that they wanted to do the same thing to North Point that was happening in Hellrun?
That was an out-of-character thing, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was me explaining the future of what would have happened had you guys failed in Hellrun.
I got you. Okay. I mean, that... Where would we know of that we could buy such items?
North Point does have, North Point is one of the places that has the most powerful, the largest access to magical items that is easily achievable. Getting to the capital of the country is virtually impossible without special privileges. It is a well-protected space. You could theoretically go to Liftport. There is a large trade epicenter there, which might give you access to items which normally would not be available in Phoenicia otherwise. And then there is also the Formian city in the underground that has access to some items as well, and even some prototype items that you may be able to purchase.
Well, I don't know about the Formian city, but...
But that is something that some of you do know about.
Yes.
So
where do you guys want to go?
Actually, let's just go with the number 1 for 20,000, because that would double my number of magic missiles.
Well, you still have to decide where you're going to buy it from. North Point, Liftport, or the Formian city.
Sorry, where's
You had
Liftport
great
on the map?
Formian City.
Liftport is in the southeast, right above Head Hub. Liftport is where there's they call it Liftport because there are these two waterfalls that come down. One that is an actual waterfall, and the other one that is a water lift that raises boats out of the ocean and up onto the island so they can dock.
Would I be able to transport there by plants?
No, it is maybe you'd still be some ways off. It's surrounded by a large swamp. And so you would have to go from there and then trudge through the swamp for a while to get to Liftport. They did clear out a very large area around it of the trees. And the swamp is very hard to move through. If you sort of look at the map here and the way that this is structured, the swamp that's here is kind of a not natural swamp. What's happened is because they're doing the Liftport raising of the water has kind of seeped into the areas they were doing that, and then they try to create these canals that kind of run it to the other side, so it goes around the city, creating sort of a virtual moat. But unfortunately, it's actually capable of pulling more water than it is capable of pushing out more water in the process. The suction system moves faster than the natural flow of the water downwards, and so it's caused this kind of spread. So as you're moving through there, you're kind of moving through this wet, sandy, and muddy ground as well. And the trees that are propped up there are only because of sort of the germination isn't really the word, right? because trees have their own word for that. Maybe it is germination. I don't know. But basically, like the trees have only like grown out there from the other patches of this sort of jungle land to the west, which is why you can see there's kind of like a weird splotching of different kinds of trees throughout there.
Now, other question. This has been a couple of days since our victory in Halron, so we could have changed up spell slot.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Niev will just say, you know, she'll go wherever that the party thinks is best. You know, since she's not really been here. She doesn't know about all of the options.
Well, there's always taken it to a vote. Where does everybody want to go?
So Liftport is closer than North Point, but we haven't been there, and the swamp is somewhat concerning.
Yes.
Right.
But we also, I think, know that we can use the painting to get straight to North Point.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take the painting and go to North Point.
But I would vote.
Okay. Yeah, so you can take the painting and head back to the big city of North Point. North Point is calm, as it usually is. The streets are lively, but not loud. Activity happens, but it doesn't happen boisterously. Things just kind of hustle and flow.
Nice. So for the price of the level 2 ring, instead we can get a level 1 ring and that quicken meta magic rod. So I can send more of those magic missiles and faster. Because the second level spell list is not great. What do y'all think?
You're welcome to do whatever you think will work best. If you think it's more valuable to have the rod, by all means, get that rod.
Nice. All right, so we're going to look for a Ring of Wizardry, type 1, and a Rod of Lesser Quicken.
Yeah, you will definitely find that the Ring of Wizardry is not a hard item to acquire. There are a great number of...
like the rod, huh?
There are a large number of sellers that happen to sell this object.
Okay.
So it's a very easy thing to come across from store to store, and is competitively priced.
Nice.
Can you give me I guess here's the question: do you want to try to work sellers against each other and see if you can bring the price down a little bit more? Or do you want to accept what kind of the average lowest prices on the market?
Let's do some haggling.
Okay. Then
can I use my diplomacy for that?
So in order to sort of sell this, they need to know who they're selling it to. So if you're doing it, then you have to be the person buying it for you. Because one of the other benefits to getting it cheaper, or like one of the other cost reduction things, is they attune it to you. Now, attunement isn't like what you would think of in like World of Warcraft, where it's a direct attunement, but it is like we have these ones that are failures that we did, where like only certain alignments can wear them, or only certain genders can wear them, or because some of these things happen, there are accidents in the production of these things where they have some that are lower priced than others. So when they're offering these deals, it's usually for like one that would only be for a specific kind of circumstance, and they want to be able to move it. And these things normally move well enough, but not everybody's got like, 10 to 20,000 GP burning a hole in their pocket at any given time. So if you're doing the haggling, they might end up giving you one for women, and then like, Erasmus is trying to put it on, and like it rejects his finger.
Okay.
So that's something to keep in mind, and you won't know ahead of time what you're getting, because part of the haggling process ends up with what they end up giving you based on the dollar amount you've got.
All right. Well, I guess I'm doing the haggling then.
Okay. Now you can get an assist from her. I have no problem with an assist there. And if you roll high enough, the assist will be worth more than a standard assist.
Okay.
I would definitely try to assist.
Okay. So let's get a couple of diplomacy rolls here. And if you super botch it, then you're going to be paying full price. Because the idea is that you've worked every haggler against you.
I'm going to throw in a caveat that I will name check the name of whoever made my ring every time I make a successful kill.
Ooh. A couple of them actually end up not liking that as an arrangement.
Nah.
It's still enough to get a little bit of a deal on it, though. They will sell it to you for about 15,000 GP instead.
Ooh, nice.
However, let me look up...
It will explode, which is fine.
No. Let me look up what you get is a downside.
Another journal. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're...
The Journal of Infinite Writing.
Your character is vaguely surly and dismissive. Ah! Oh,
What's new there?
He's obsessed with making slings.
Go. Let's see what we got here. All right, Charles, you get this ring of wizardry, and it seems to function just fine. Do you have detect curse or any of the requisite spells? Because you know that you're getting, you're not getting this discounted for no reason.
I just have the monocle of substantiability, which does nothing.
It does not do that.
Yeah, I got detect magic, protection from evil.
You can detect magic on it, and then you can give me a knowledge arcana.
Okay. I'll do so, and then I will do the knowledge arcana. It will slowly drain your life force. Well, that sucks.
Ooh, very good. So yeah, you're looking at this, and you notice there's these weird periodic beams of like energy that kind of shoot into the ground. But there's also a couple that like, as the sun kind of reflects on it, or as light seems to reflect on it, as like sunlight comes in, it seems to sparkle a little bit more. And then you're kind of looking at the magic, and you realize the way the twist is, this thing is fed by a combination of sunlight and like grass or fresh air. This ring will only function while you are above ground.
Shit. Okay. God damn it.
I mean, that's a pretty good deal, because it's not like you guys go underground all that much.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna ride with it.
You could have gotten the underwater one. Well, they wouldn't have given you an underwater one, but...
That'd have been a lot of fun, though.
So how much should I deduct?
15,000.
Ooh, that's quite a...
15,000.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we're doing is we pulled all of our money into a...
Yeah, I've got your money. So you wipe away your money, and then I'll give you back the money at the end of buying stuff.
Okay, so just clear it all out.
Go ahead.
Should I tell you how much copper and silver I have too, then?
No. Don't. Well, unless you're copper and silver in the like tens of thousands.
No, I have 4,600 copper.
That's 46
Okay,
gold.
So just clear out my gold and my.
Oh.
Yeah.
Steve, did that amount that I had on Brianna's sheet that I told you I would have given back to the party because I was holding party funds? That was like some gems. Did you ever like move that over?
No. Let me double check the sheets.
The reason I have all those sapphires is because I was convinced it was a spell I would need them for. But never could figure out what spell it was. I was holding on to gems because the higher level spells use gems. I remember declaring this.
I can add those, because if you didn't see those on your thing, then I didn't, but I will add those to the list as well. I got the total right here.
Okay.
Got it. All right, so you're now up to 38,053. So, do you want to take when you get the lesser meta magic rod of Quicken? They do have one that's standard. They also have one. You're gonna deny this one. Oh, actually not. Let me roll the. Somebody roll me a D9.
Oh, you got to be kidding me! Oh gosh! Hold on.
Charles is gonna roll a physical one. I think Charles called it first when he got excited and ran to get it.
I wasn't sure what was happening.
Yeah. Nope. Charles can roll because Charles doesn't get to use these dice very often.
That's fine. Please disregard.
I have dice all the way up to 30.
All right, roll me a D9. Let me know when what you got.
30. That's all.
No, I have more, but I have a continuous chain of dice.
Yeah, you can go from 2 to 30 in dice for Charles. And then what? It skips to 40 something, right?
Yeah, and then there's supposedly an 1100 one. Oh, 9.
You got a 9? Okay, so this will only function in the hands of a chaotic evil person. So
What?
the other one that they have at a discount only functions in the hands of a chaotic evil person.
And we don't know that until we bought
No, they tell you that ahead of time. They're like, I haven't been able to use it. We've had a bunch of other people that have been able to use it, but we got it off of like a follower of Ryoshin. Like some party had like dealt with fighting them off, managed to have to kill one of them, brought back the rod, and were complaining that it seemed defective. And when we analyzed it, we saw like it was definitely a quicken meta magic rod, but nobody can seem to activate it. So it's got to be like you got to be the same alignment as Ryoshin or something like that. We've had all kinds of people come in here and try.
I feel like we should not buy it.
Yeah, we're not gonna buy that.
No,
yeah.
nobody in the party's chaotic evil. So you can buy the regular one then. The regular one is 35,000 plus the discount. So that'll be. Hold on one sec. So that'll take you from. It'll cost 31,500. So that'll bring you to 6,553 GP left, and you can pick up your lesser quicken meta magic rod. So many words.
Okay. All right, so I will be casting very fast magic missiles 3 times a day, and I'll be magic missiling all day.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we want to do with the remaining 6K? Anything that the animals need? Pick up for that amount.
I mean, Hunter basically has the amulet. He has a chain shirt, so I don't know of anything else really that I could do for Hunter.
Is it a magical chain shirt or just a regular chain shirt?
It's just a regular chain shirt.
You can always get it enchanted. At least put a +1
True.
on it. If you liked it, then you should have put a +1 on it, maybe a +2 on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that.
Because I think Katri has a magic one, right?
It doesn't say it's magic.
How do both of you not have magical armor? All
I
right.
don't think I realized that barding could also be magical.
All right, I'm gonna cut the gold out of here, and you guys can both take +1. Put your armor up by +1,
Yeah, you guys really need to. You need to magic up that barding.
and that'll leave you with another 4K left over.
So basically, the AC from that gets a +1.
Yeah.
Is there anything that Nikolai needs that could help him be more defensive or anything?
Well, if I understand right, I thought the armor I currently have is like the strongest I can have without it having too much negative side effects.
Yeah. And it's magical right now, right? Should be +1 or 2, I think. I think we did 2.
I have mithril breastplate.
Okay. It's not magical? What's the current AC or bonus you're getting from it?
8.
So yeah, it's magical. It's +2.
I think you missed your opportunity. Your correct answer should have been, what was that supposed to mean?
So I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. Is there some kind of like defensive anklet that I could get to wear?
No, there are like boots or other various things that you could get to put on yourself. For example, if I go, let's see what we got here. We'll look up something in the wondrous items category, and we'll see what somebody tries to sell you.
I think what you should get.
Today's
you ready
special.
For this? We should get a portable hole, and that way somebody can drop it in their magical item pantaloves and cause a massive explosion if things go south. That way we're taking them with us.
No.
Turning yourself into a suicide bomber, basically. Like, I'm gonna take you with me.
It wouldn't
when
be
you put it that way, Justin. It sounds bad.
Not that Niev would know to make this this suggestion, but we could also see what the Formians, if they have anything for 4,000.
But we don't have a way to get there and back quickly, right?
Aren't we in North Point? Isn't that where the Formians are?
Yeah, it's about a half day's travel down through the tunnels to get to the Formians. If you wanted to go down there.
I'm open to it, as long as we don't think that's taking enough time that Candor will be mad.
We could always message Candor and say we need another half day.
No, so he said it's like imperative that you get here as soon as you can. He's basically saying, like, don't monkey around all, for days before getting here. But,
all right, I say let's go visit our Formian friends.
Okay.
For chat.
You can do so. I don't have my key of music in here, but I'm gonna pull over some music I have.
Is it Dave Matthews Band Ants Marching?
No. Is this? Okay. You guys find yourselves traveling down the caves to the city, to the Formian city, whose name I have once again forgotten.
Formia.
I thought it was Formia.
That is it. Thank you. You can make your way to the same people you spoke to before. That are always looking for a new idea of something to make or something that they've made that they are anxious to try out.
Niev is blown away.
Yeah, it is a massive, like, gold and silver and stone city. Dark, but also like bright in its own way. The reflections of light as you come through here really make this place sparkle.
You can only imagine what Antaeus would think of a place like this.
As you start speaking to them, one of them will come rushing up to you. Oh, you've come back! Tell me, how did it go? Did it work well?
The wagon?
Yes.
It worked great.
Until...
You brought it with you? Can I take a look at it?
You can't, because it was... How can I be delicate? It was destroyed.
Destroyed?
Wait, what happened to it? I've forgotten.
Well, technically you guys left it behind, but you can't remember where you left it behind.
Oh, okay. It's missing in action.
You've lost it? Such a valuable contraption and so large. How could you lose it? Did someone cast an invisibility spell on it? And now you can't find it?
Maybe.
Not sure.
Did you negligently leave the glove laying around somewhere?
Wait,
I
you
hold
guys.
up the hand with the glove on it.
Wait. You guys don't remember where this wagon is? I mean, they've never
No.
had a wagon as long as I've known them, but. So you guys don't know where it is?
Some
Not
things
with us.
some things occurred, and so we don't know.
How do you just not know where you parked it?
We have some memory issues. Be nice.
It's spotty. I mean,
It's fine. It's fine. I can locate this for you. That's not a big deal.
he presses a button. You know what I mean?
Can you recall
It's
it
right
too?
there.
Sadly, we did not put a recall feature on it.
Damn.
However, if you're back here, then at least things must be going well. You all look in good spirits, good health.
We are. We're about to embark on a truly dangerous mission.
Oh,
We
excellent.
looking for something spectacular in the, what do we got, $4,000?
Hey, you are looking to do something spectacular.
Yes.
You all work together all the time, correct? You're always near to each other?
Yes.
What if I could give you the ability to give your legs to another person?
What?
Yes, I know it sounds absurd to say it that way, but watch this. And he'll take out like 2 pairs of these shoes, and he'll put 1 pair on himself and 1 pair on someone else. Or like he'll have somebody else put 1 pair on them. Now watch as I demonstrate. And he like proceeds to tell somebody to walk towards one end of the building, and then he like turns himself and like makes a motion to walk the other way, and the person's like lower body kind of turns and starts walking the other way. And then the guy can turn and walk back the same way.
So you're basically controlling their body?
It's not controlling. There has to be some measure of willingness. I think he expected me to send him that way, but then I sent him the other way. Fun little
And
prank.
why is this beneficial?
It works very rapidly, as quick as the speed of thought. So let's say, for example, that your mind, the normal mind, can only handle so much in the space of a certain amount of time. Let's say that you need to keep moving, but you also have something else you need to do. For example, perhaps there's a spell you need to cast. It's very difficult normally to cast a spell while walking. Your brain has to focus on movement while your brain is also focusing on hand gestures. But let's say you didn't need the part of your brain that controls your movement. Let's say somebody else was offering their part of their brain for that movement. You would gain the benefit of being able to move while having the extra ability to cast your spell. Fundamentally, what this is you can give your move action, but during the same round, during like your action, to someone else. So you could have somebody like move a certain amount of space, or you could take other things that are like leg equivalent move actions for that. Like if you needed somebody to quickly lay down, you can kind of like cause their legs to drop out from underneath them and they would fall to the ground. That's not as useful, but could be there. You could use it to help someone get up. Their legs kind of like move themselves and help themselves stand up.
Is it only between 2 people?
No, we can do it for all of you. It does have a limited number of actions attached to it, though. We have not uses attached to it, though. We haven't quite gotten it to the point where it is fully unlimited use. It seems to get more unstable the more we do this. The magic we're working with is a bit of a blend between some levels of telekinesis, some levels of haste, some levels of jar the soul. So these spells, they don't tend to function fully together all that well. Too much blending of various schools and whatnot.
What do you call these shoes?
They are called A Mile in My Shoes.
You know what? I'm saying we go for it.
Splendid, splendid, splendid. Now,
Well, hold on for the rest of the party. Are y'all on for the mile in my shoes?
I think the only limit is our creativity.
They're called a mile in my shoes, not an extra shoes. The shoes is the part. A mile in my is the product name.
Okay, let's get this set of the mile in shoe form.
So each of you, so these have a combined total of 10 uses per day. Now, it's not specific to one individual person, and remember that it happens during somebody else's turn, but also remember that AOs still do apply. It's still a normal movement. It can't be used as a withdrawal. It can't be used as a 5-foot step. You will provoke AOs if you take it, but it happens during another person's initiative, and players have to have acted before you can use it. So, like, you can't do it to somebody who's still not taken an action in a combat.
Okay.
And it can't be used as, like, a reaction. You can't, like, ready to have somebody else get moved by the thing.
All right. Seems pretty great.
Now, I'll need lots of notes afterwards. We've done a lot of testing down here, but we've not gotten to put it in a live environment with real people doing real-world things.
I'm all about it.
Splendid. We're not held responsible should there be any sort of malfunctions. We're not sure what happens if one of you gets afflicted by an auto-zero-resistible dance, so perhaps try to avoid that one. We have some theories that it might be partially contagious to other people, or any other foot-related issues may result in multiple people being affected by it. So perhaps avoid things like that. There may also be some benefits, though. We have noticed that if you happen to, for example, have something that takes away your sense of weariness from extended traveling, that it does seem to affect, it does not have a negative effect on the wearer.
Huh. All right, well, we're going to put these shoes to the test.
All right. Well, if there's...
Mia will say, "It's nice to meet you, and thank you, I guess."
Oh, you're very welcome. We are always glad to help Kandor with his experiments.
Fucking guy.
Hopefully this time they turn out well.
That's our hope as well.
You know,
Well, either way.
He's the reason we got started in this kind of research.
He likes to experiment a lot.
He's trying to get everything just right, and he assured us that that is our goal. Our goal is to produce things that will make the world better, that will fix all the wrongs that have been wronged, to right all the wrongs that have been wronged. How did he put that? He did that more eloquently, and I can't recall the order of the words that he did. There was a right, there was a wrong, and there was a correct. To correct all the wrongs.
It's okay.
All the rights that were made wrong? Oh, yes, to correct all the rights that were made wrong. That was the way he put it.
How about to fix tomorrow's problems today?
Too cliche.
Okay. All right, I think that alleviates us of any excessive gold.
All right. It does indeed. Do you guys...
Go way back to harvesting?
Yeah.
Back to harvesting. Back to harvesting.
You can head back up and take the painting back. When you arrive, you can smell something delicious. It is evening by the time you get back. You can smell something delicious cooking on the stove. Kandor is, of course, nowhere to be found. Ah! Oh, I didn't hear you come in. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was just making stew.
Oh, speaking of stew, we got you a little something from our travels.
Oh, what'd you get?
Here, I hand him the box with the spoon in it.
It's a spoon. That's nice of you. Thank you.
It's a magical spoon.
Oh, it's magic. And he like turns on his detect magic. Oh my god, it makes food.
There you go, buddy.
And then he like puts it in his mouth. Oh, it makes food. I could use this for the plants.
There you go.
There you go.
Erasmus got your back, Brosophus.
Thank you. Oh, this is so useful. Oh, they don't have to eat me as much anymore.
Forever.
I don't know if I have enough food for everybody right now. I can get to work though. I'll get something cooked up.
It's okay. I don't really need food.
We can also eat the gruel.
I don't want to do that too. I guess I could use the gruel with this for right now. I'll do that.
You can just see it.
Yeah, he'll like put the spoon in and start using it to stir, and the pot will kind of start to fill up a little more, and then he'll start grabbing various spices and other things and mixing them in.
Trying to make less disgusting.
Yeah.
Make it taste less like wet cardboard.
But as you guys get ready to kind of sit down for dinner and sit down to relax, you do get a message from Candor. And this is going to be kind of a difficult message that you get. To for your minds, not necessarily difficult and like hard to swallow. Candor asks that each of you ruminate on if there was one thing about the world that you could change, and it can't be like a big wide open like if the world could just be at peace, or the world could or everybody could be fed. Like, it can't be too profound. It needs to be like something that is simple yet complicated, something that has that is sort of the material of how the world works. If there was something about the functionality of the very world around you that you could change, what would you change?
I know what it is.
Very confusing
Don't mind.
question.
He encourages you to discuss that with each other as well, so that you're on the same page, as this will be a very important thing to know, because these are the kinds of things that may be challenged over the next couple of days.
Erasmus, what are you thinking? Because I'm not even getting the concept of the question.
So my belief is that if more people journaled their thoughts, the thoughts would be more succinct and focused. We'd have less people running around making rash decisions, less people running around putting their emotional baggage on others.
So you would like to see a push in the world for greater awareness of self.
Yes. Thank you.
If you present that, you'll get back it's a little too profound in scope. It needs to be more narrowed in. He urges you to think a little more mechanically. Like, if you imagine that the world itself has operations and things that happen, try to think about the operations of the world and what you would change about the operations of the world. And know that this is supposed to be a very difficult question to answer, and that there isn't a right or wrong answer. There are just answers which can tempt you and may be problematic, and answers that may benefit you and others. And that those consequences should be thought of as well.
Do you think the establishment of the universal language is too big a goal?
That sounds kind of profound.
Well, then the only thing I have left is Homer Simpson's idea that you get when you buy fish, you get extra packets of tartar sauce. That's about.
If you bring up the idea of the universal language to Kandor, you will actually get a reply like a common that everyone knows by default.
Yes.
That is theoretically plausible.
You could call it Esperanto.
Why don't you come to your senses? Oh wait, no, that's Desperado.
Desperado. That's all right. I got where you were going.
Despacito?
No, isn't that something that they do down in Puerto Rico?
Where?
This is something that you don't need to have an answer for right now. It is something to kind of ruminate on in the background while we take our first break.
Wow.
We will see shortly. All right, so we had a little talk during our break to explain some of what I'm talking about, but I do remember something that's very interesting. When somebody got the piece of what was within the machine, I asked for a will save, and who was that person that had to give me a will save?
I believe that was myself, correct?
It was indeed. Now, let me ask Erasmus a question. What does Erasmus think of to be one of Erasmus's biggest weaknesses?
I just don't have a good variety of spells.
That you would say is your biggest weakness?
Oh, meaning
Like Erasmus's biggest weakness?
I'm not particularly perceptive and don't have a fine eye for detail.
No, I do want to go back to the variety of spells. What would you mean by the variety of spells?
Well, like for instance, I can cast fifth level spells, but I can only know one, right? And then, so there are levels where my intelligence would allow me to cast a spell. I would have more spells, but I can't. So, I'm stuck. Like, all I can cast is teleport this level. But there's 3 or 4 different good ones. So that's kind of a weakness. And then, the constantly not rolling a perception above 10 is also a huge weakness.
Well, you don't have any ranks in perception, though, right?
Well, that's true, but...
if it was a class skill, do you think you'd have put ranks in it?
Yeah, I think I would have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so for Erasmus, it's a class skill. Retake one of your current skills, and put ranks in your perception. You failed the will save, this is what happens.
Wow.
This is the power of that object. It can reshape you mechanically.
So all of the ranks are
So
just one
pick
rank?
one skill that you currently have full ranks in and move it to perception.
Wait, all of them?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna suck.
But your perception
Okay.
but perception is now a class skill. It is failing a will save, so there should be some measure of punishment here. It was a very
It's not
powerful spell
full
you interacted
round.
with.
I only have one that I have full in.
Let me look at what you have. Hold on. Let me take a look at your sheet, and we'll let some negotiation, because I didn't realize you had a little bit of a point spread. Let's see.
I was just gonna move all my knowledge dungeoneering into perception.
Yeah, I'll allow that. Based on what your stats are, that is fine. That's close enough to full that's cool.
Okay.
I just want to make sure this wasn't going to be one of those things like, I'm going to put the 1 point I have in craft sling over there. Haha, gotcha, Mr. DM.
No.
I do also want to point out, I don't think or the others, they rolled their hit points from the level up.
Oh, yeah, nobody has rolled hit points from level up, so why don't we do that as well? Including your animal companions. Your animal companions may now roll.
Okay, so I forgot. What do? We roll our just hit.
Click the hit points button above your hit points. Yep. And if you roll a 1, you can definitely re-roll. Nikolai, you can re-roll. So Nikolai and Pax can both re-roll. So Pax already did. That is, Pax keeps that. Nope, Nikolai keeps that
2.
1. That's rough. Erasmus, you do get a re-roll.
Wow, 6. That's a huge jump there. From 2.
I have to keep.
I don't see
instead of
Niev's
2.
HP roll. Oh no, Niev didn't level because Niev
I
is...
didn't level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So even I have to keep the 1 instead of the 2.
No, you can take the 2 instead. Because you are now high enough level that it's not infinite rerolls.
Infinite reroll.
Until you get higher. Okay. You all can... is there anything that you guys would have discussed about your thoughts on the mechanics over the dinner?
I can't think of anything because I projected all my ideas.
Blinky.
Still trying to wrap my head around it.
That's fine. I think that can just be like something that simmers and you guys can discuss other things. And the new morning will rise.
If only there was a female pop country style singer that could just unite us all under a banner of one band.
Yep.
In the morning, when you all awaken and come downstairs for breakfast, there are a couple of like the... Let me bring you back to the harvested map, actually. As it loads on in here. Whee! This display case that was in the living room here has been kind of moved into the center of the room. And there is a very large, like, map that's been rolled out on it that looks like somebody drew out a map of Harveston on it. And in it, there are some pretty like sizable things. There's like a vase that's on it, but like a small flower vase, and like a canister of something. And then there's like a little salt shaker that's there, and the salt shaker has written on it Gort. The very large object has written on it something from Stevalor. And the third thing has not sure but sure written on it.
Not sure but sure, huh?
And I'm supposing this is Candor's handwriting.
It is Candor's handwriting, yes.
Crazy.
How does Gort figure into
You're
all
muted,
of
Whitney.
this?
Gort, and then another says
Not sure but sure.
And what? There was a third one, right?
And the third one was something from Stevalor.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, I was confused when I got up this morning. What's a Stevalor?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, we don't know what Stevalor is either.
Oh. Do any of you had any way to find out? Like, cause the book, you guys have like picked up books, right? You like books, right, Erasmus? Like not for
I do.
reading?
Yeah. Do we have anything that would... I don't have any knowledge of dungeoneering all of a sudden.
What? Stevalor's a dungeon thing?
I'm gonna look and try to see if maybe I've heard of a dungeon called Stevalor.
No. You don't know anything about dungeons.
Do I miss the knowledge or no?
I think functionally no. Like you don't even recall it, right? In your head now, you've just remembered being particularly good at spotting things and identifying things. It's kind of reworked the way your mind has worked.
Okay.
Wait, you got that thing! The thing on your head!
A band of intellect?
No, not you! Nikolai, I was pointing the wrong way, sorry. Nikolai, didn't you get like a headband from Candor?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't it have some extra thing that he glossed over?
Thing.
Yeah, it had something to do with glossing.
I don't know.
Nothing to do with flossing.
He told me about it.
Okay, what did he tell you?
Glossary?
That's it. It's a glossary.
Oh, is that the thing that Brianna gave me? And Nia will pull it out. The glossary of glossary.
Oh, you have that too.
Yeah, she gave me several things. There's this headband, and then there's this book, this glossary of glossary.
Oh, the lesser and the greater headband are here now. Let me pull up the... but yes, the glossary of glossary is a rather useful item.
Kandor's used something like that before when he's like trying to get me to shut up about stuff. He pulls it out and then like looks up some answers, and it seems to have like all the answers, but like they're always more confusing.
Do you have to write in it, or do you just say what you
think about what page you're going to tune through? Something like that is what he said.
So I will think about Stevalore.
Yeah, so you kind of you do it like you're gonna flip through the pages. You kind of open it up and you're thinking about Stevalore, and you like flip a couple of pages and you find yourself on the page about Stevalore. The book reads, Stevalore Litchington was a powerful wizard that once resided in the country of RA4 many, many years ago. He worked to create a large city, a city where many people could have a good, fun, and wholesome time. A place where you could come, relax, spend time with family, and have a good day. But then things changed for the worse.
No!
The light in Stevalore's positive salesmanship life disappeared and was instead replaced by the dark mind of somebody with self-interest and personal gain in mind. And Stevalore's desires turned from entertainment for the whole family and entertainment for the freakish. Stevalore went on to turn his city of Stevalo into a murder amusement park, a place where people could go to watch people try to attempt the most powerful and most difficult dungeon in the entire world, a place where they could all die together, and people could watch on for a great sum of coin.
Is this the Stevalo Cup?
The Stevalo Cup is a byproduct of Stevalo. The main thing is Stevalo has a very large arena that you can, or not arena, but a very large dungeon that you can go through. And if you survive, there is promised to be like great wealth and power that would give you the essential equivalent of immortality. But no one has been able to successfully conquer the Stevalo Cup. It's usually suggested that like people go in as like a fully fledged group together, and they need to know each other really well, and they need to like be able to have the perfect ability to work together and be ready for basically anything. And so far, no one has ever successfully beaten the Stevalo dungeon. However, Stevalore, bored of his success after a few hundred years of running the city.
Oh, does he live forever?
Yeah, he is a lich, so he is capable of living for an eternity.
Stevalore Litchington, yeah.
And he found himself a way out, a way to control a whole like expanse of creatures from the abyss. The creatures dedicated to the bridge between life and death. Creatures known as daemons.
Uh-oh.
And that is what the glossary will tell you.
Obviously, Nia's reading this out to everybody.
Should do it in like a spooky voice.
She casts light to like reflect up on her face while she's telling you.
Disembodied voice.
So daemons, those are kind of like the things we were fighting in Fort Jericho, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
And so these are basically just like labeled containers, and we don't really know what's in them.
What's inside the container is not important. Like the
seems like
the vase is empty. The salt shaker has salt in it, but
It seems like it's more like a representative of these things, not that the container itself is important.
Correct.
Yeah, he's tracking the movement of key players.
Well, they're on the map in a very specific place. So now that we've gotten past this, on the map what he has, and I'll kind of drag things in. So let's do a...
Should I expand out or no?
Yeah, you're going to want to stretch out, because I'm going to be putting some stuff on here. It's going to be weird. So he's got like a big vase that's like way over here. He's got a... Oops, that's right. It's actually going to be this.
Are you guys seeing a map? I'm just seeing the house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you scroll out, you can see where the vase is.
Yeah, it's like
That blue thing?
To the far
no,
right.
it's yeah.
I need to make it so that people at home can see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way out there. I'm gonna zoom it out a little bit more here. So he's got like a vase that's kind of hanging out there. That's disappointing. I don't have something for just like a little salt shaker. I guess I'll just use this one. Just throw actual Kent in there. And he's got like Kent positioned up here. And then... And then like he's got a very large cookie jar over here. By map comparison. Maybe a little bit further down.
What do you think? So that has something to do with those creatures that we've seen.
He points to like the jar.
And what happened to Gort? Why has he got Gort written on here?
I don't know for sure, but he was trying to prevent us from getting this last item. And when we successfully got it, he ran away through a door that we couldn't follow.
Oh. So he's not going to be your friend probably anymore then.
No, we're thinking not.
No. He didn't outright try to kill us except when we picked up the core, but then, you know, he didn't want us doing he didn't want us doing the thing that we were there to do. So.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good then.
No.
Say not.
What do you think the not sure but sure means?
I feel like, I wonder if it's the thing that we released in Howron, maybe.
Thing you released?
I don't really know how to explain it. It was when the building imploded, there was like this creature that was released and said, "Thank you for releasing me," to us.
Well, that sounds really nice. That doesn't sound like they'd be mad at you.
Yeah, that creature didn't give off hostile vibes.
Oh, go ahead, Constant.
It could mean that he's sure something will show up there, but doesn't know exactly what it is.
Ooh, it's very good.
Oh! Okay, that makes some sense.
I wasn't thinking necessarily all of these were
Head-Up reaches in and
enemies.
eats a cookie out of it.
I
Does
hope it's
anything
this
happen?
delicious.
Nothing happens.
Oh.
Well, so if you're right then, that means there's going to be a lot of things coming.
I think so. I think that's a foregone conclusion.
This
Do
other
you think
thing...
that this...
Go ahead.
Do you think that this is his way of telling us what he thinks is going to attack now that we've gotten the last piece?
Well, there has been something that's attacked every time you come back here.
True. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't know that, but so never mind. I didn't ask that question.
Somebody would have, though.
Yeah, it could be. It very well could be.
Well, what do you think we should be most worried about?
Well, the father of all of the daemons seems like that would be pretty bad. I don't know.
It doesn't say that it's gonna be him. It just says it's something from him.
I would go with that just because the Daemons are extra dimensional, and it's such a wild card.
So, you don't think we should focus as much on Gort? Or whatever this other thing is? Because I'm in for whatever you guys want to do. It just looks like they're going to be coming in for 3 different directions.
We do have a way to handle Gort. I'll look at Nikolai. You still have the item? Out of character, it was like a needle that
Oh.
Kandor had said to... We have a pretty good way to handle Gort, I think.
The essence extractor.
Well, that's good.
What concerns me is this not sure but sure. I don't like the unknown.
Well,
I'd rather...
what would want to come here? I don't... Like, is there anything you guys have upset?
Well, there's been a lot of those daemons that have come here, so I assume.
But there's already a demon. This is different.
You don't think there'd be dragons, do you?
What's a dragon?
It's like a large, scaled lizard-type creature that flies.
That's a weird thing. Why would a lizard want to fly?
Well, so far they've just been curious. We're not supposed to be able to see them, but I kind of polymorphed one, and my companion killed it, and so possibly, I don't know.
But how would they know that you're here?
I don't know.
It could be the power of the device once we assemble it.
I would think that Kandor's like all about the show of things. I'm sure he'd put something really cool here if it was the device.
True.
Well, I haven't been traveling with you guys as long. Is there anything that you all can think of that you made mad?
And didn't kill. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
probably. I don't think anything that you killed is going to come back.
You don't think it might be some undead thing, do you?
Why? What undead thing would it be? What?
You know, the things that some of us don't remember.
You're talking about the all the stuff written in Nakarada.
That's all still related to Steve Allure.
Yeah.
There's one thing, I can't remember what the name of it is. When we went to the snowy place. The thing we didn't know if we actually killed or not.
The thing underground?
Yeah,
You guys killed that.
we killed that.
I'm now, Neo's specifically thinking along the lines of what's parked at the school.
The
But
cart?
she's trying. No,
Yes,
not
the cart's gonna steamroll.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be some undead. They're gonna bounce up in the cart after us.
The card is back for revenge.
Dun 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 dun.
Can we
I just-
make a roll?
No, there is no die roll to make here. This is all about speculation.
I think those are spots Kandor's gonna put a Kandor burger.
Oh, I don't think I want him cooking anything.
I think he's gonna use Chef Hadhop as.
He kept telling me I should put cayenne pepper on everything. He has
You
no
don't
sense
like
of
that
taste.
idea, huh?
He has no sense of taste. I was drinking water, and he was like, that needs a little cayenne pepper.
Yeah, maybe some lemon with that.
No,
And
what?
honey?
Then it's not water. Just drink water.
I've heard that it's good for inflammation.
Water?
No, cayenne pepper.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Are you a doctor?
I know how to heal people.
I guess that sort of makes you like a doctor.
So back to the map.
Yeah, back to the map.
He takes another
So,
cookie
yeah.
out of the jar.
So Niev, without talking about like where she encountered this, she'll just say, on my way to Fort Jericho, I did encounter quite a lot of these undead creatures. They didn't seem to be interested in me, but they seemed sort of mindless and shambling. But I just wondered if perhaps that could be something that would be coming after.
What were they? Were they like big, like the cookie jar? Because the cookie jar's kind of big, and like the salt shaker's kind of small. And the salt shaker we know is gourd.
Oh, you're thinking that it's a scale model.
And I think so, because like we've seen the things that have come to here like get bigger each time. So that's probably why this is so big.
And he like pushes on the pot and then almost knocks it over and quickly like catches it and puts it back.
So I'm thinking like they're like their size to be what they're gonna be. But then if he doesn't know what it is, then how would he know it's gonna be that size?
Question.
But he has sometimes predicted that I'm gonna do things that I didn't think he'd be able to predict. So
You don't think he was just guessing, huh?
no, he's like spot on every time he takes it. Every time he says it. He's like, later on today, this is gonna happen, so you should be careful. And then I'm like not being careful, and then it happens. And I'm like, how did he do that? How did he know?
Could be circumstance as well.
It could be, but it's been like 30 or so times. Like he knew before the plants were gonna take a bite out of me. He was like, hey, watch out for the one with the big long vine. And I was like, what are you talking about? They're plants. And then all of a sudden it tried to eat me. So I tend to think that he's got some idea of things, but I don't know what. And it's not always like, he doesn't always have it exactly right, but it's always close.
We can't really tell if they're pointed to us because they're objects.
Yeah. It does make it hard. He didn't pick things with faces. Next time you should use things with faces or draw faces on them.
And Headhup like reaches over and like takes out a little bit of like food coloring and like puts some eyes on each of the things.
There we go, that's better.
Maybe they don't have faces because what's coming won't have faces.
Oh, that's the scariest thing. Oh, I have
Maybe you
nightmares about that.
Draw some angry eyebrows so that we know that they're
Yeah!
So.
And he'll like put some angry eyebrows on each of them.
All right, now that I think this officially means they're angry, though.
Oh, hat up.
Gord always seemed pretty angry, to be honest with you.
Maybe it's Gord that's coming first.
Well, that much is certain. That's why, and I'll point at the salt shaker. Yeah. If I pull out the book,
I'm gonna go get the door while you guys keep talking.
Okay.
I'll go with him.
If I pull out the book of that we used to communicate with Candor, and I send him a message, what does not sure but sure mean? Do I get any response?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure.
But what are you not sure of?
I'm not sure.
Oh. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. I'll be out soon. I'm almost finished. He will open up. Head up will open the door. And standing behind it is that familiar tall man that you guys had spoken to before. You know of to be Abram.
Oh, hello. It's nice to meet you.
I suppose I'm here at the right and wrong time.
Well, Candor's not around.
Well, of course he's not around.
He's here,
He's
but not available.
Yes, I'm sure he's finishing up something.
He said he'll be up in a minute. Oh, actually, I guess I'm not at the door. Never mind.
Well, I mean, he'll come out. He'll come in, and you guys you can wrap it.
Yeah.
He told me you were all successful in your latest excursion.
Yes.
You're missing one and have changed it into a goblin, I guess?
Not exactly.
No. Gort was trying to prevent us from getting the item, and when we got it, he ran off.
He looks over at the table with the stuff on it. Well, it's a salt shaker, which means you've made him angry, obviously.
That's why Hadhup drew angry eyebrows on him.
Oh, I thought maybe Candor did that. Would be his style to some degree as well. A vase, empty inside, just as the soul that will be when it arrives.
Like a little poetry.
Do you know what he means by not sure but sure?
This is always the hard part with Candor. Candor has a certain uncertainty. He is well aware of all that is to come and not familiar with any of what will be.
Now you're talking like him.
Doing a good job.
What do you mean? I am speaking in things that are very clear. I just need you to listen better. No, I spoke what made sense.
It makes better sense than not sure but sure.
Not sure but sure is a good statement. It explains things quite well.
He's sure it's there, but he's not sure it's
There is a certain insecure security of what he says here. He knows that there will be something that will arrive, but he is not sure what that thing will be.
But he's certain that it will arrive.
Yes.
I get it. So he's kind of like, imagine if you're playing chess. You know how the pieces move, but you don't know what the outcome of the game is. But you know, eventually somebody is going to get mated.
Yes.
But how that happens, it's anybody's guess.
In this particular case, though, there are some clues that he'll often set. Him using a cookie jar is something that might have some semblance of meaning. Cookies are sweet. Was there something that was particularly nice to you that now might have felt like you wronged it?
Out of character, I know what it is.
I'm drawing a complete and utter fucking blank.
Well, of course, because you probably don't remember the encounter.
What was the encounter?
If you're talking about Phelan, Phelan was never sweet on them. Okay.
No, not Phelan. The guy that we were rolling through the forest with the cart, and we said that we would put the forest back, and then we never did. But I wouldn't know that as Niev, and you guys probably don't remember it since it has to do with going to Mirashad.
Interesting. Interesting.
So there's nothing you all can remember. That's a bad sign. Being surprised by things is never the way that anyone, that these kinds of things should ever happen. Have you noticed any lapses in memory recently?
Oh,
Yes.
They have a pretty big lapse in memory, I would, if I do say so myself.
Shame.
My memory's just fine.
They don't remember Mirashad.
Your
Oh, I don't know what that is.
accent, little goblin. Where were you raised?
Arkansas?
That's why I recognize you. That's right. You traveled with the, with that other goblin, the one that, had malintentions.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I thought you looked familiar.
With malcontention.
I believe all of you had a very sad ending, yes?
Yeah, but I'm here now and I'm back with my brother.
Strange. I thought none of you could be brought back. Kandor had said so. I guess his magic usually does tend to find some way around even the strongest of loopholes.
Huh.
Shame he can't fix your memory problems.
Oh, I don't have memory problems. It's the rest of them, except her, I guess.
Must be an issue caused by the gods if this is something he can't undo. Normally,
Maybe Shishad is mad at us.
I mean, I guess we don't know that he couldn't do it because, like, it could be something that he could do. He just doesn't care about enough to do it.
so very true. Kandor does tend to look a little too far while looking so closely.
Oh my god. Often he claps with only one hand. And what sound does it make?
I would propose then, if whatever this is here that was once sweet upon you and is now turned against you, perhaps you can. He does not seem to indicate, and he opens up the jar. There's still a significant amount of cookies in there.
Oh, would it have changed things if it was empty?
Normally, when Kandor leaves things like this behind, the state of the thing does also matter. Notice that the flower pot does not have any flowers in it, neither alive nor dead, which means that whatever it is empty. We know that it's not going to be an undead horde because it lacks dead flowers. It is not going to be something large and very colorful, as it is not denotated with a single color of flower, nor does it have any living plant life in it to indicate it could be some sort of tree or other object. And he went ahead and wrote something from Stevalore on it, or something from Stevalore on it, which very clearly means it's not going to be something that is alive or dead. But very empty inside.
Examine one of the cookies to see if what the cookies are made of is a clue.
You may. Give me a perception check with your new perception score.
Oh boy. Okay, so it's actually going to be my wisdom bonus, which I don't think is actually anything.
It's okay. That is still very good. You are looking over the cookie. And you didn't click the train, so that's a little bit higher. But you are looking over the cookie, and this is like oatmeal, and it has some kind of like bark and berry in it. So there's like a bit of a crunch to it. That's got kind of like an earthy taste with a little bit of berry in it.
It's got an earthy taste with a bit of berry in it.
Did you make any elementals mad recently, or perhaps tree creatures?
Yeah, we screwed up that forest.
Do you guys even remember that?
They would remember screwing up the forest.
Okay.
And what happened when you screwed up the forest?
We were supposed to come back and fix it, and we never did because we haven't stopped since.
What did you encounter that spoke to you?
Was it a treant?
Was it a treant? You guys
Anybody
have to
else
answer that.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Can I go through my notes? My journals?
You can go through your journals.
Okay, what did I encounter?
It was a treant.
Yeah. So
What?
yeah, we got a treant.
That would explain that. So you made the forest angry,
Yes.
as well as one of your
Sure
friends.
did.
Well,
We
this
sure did.
this could be much worse. You could have angered the gods as well. You haven't been pissing any of them off, have you?
Down at that temple, we killed that thing. I don't think it was a god.
No, but important gods that you would piss off. You don't want to be pissing off any Ryotian clerics or any, perhaps, Eulah's followers. You've been avoiding too many interreligious conflicts, yes?
No, none of that. No.
Wasn't Eulah's one of the clerics that brought me back that one time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but we didn't. I mean, we didn't leave on any terms with them. They wanted something, but we weren't willing to get in bed with them.
Well, that doesn't sound problematic. Why don't we do this? Why don't you think on it while we take a short break? See you shortly. Well, what are your thoughts?
Well, since Niev has now heard about the situation with the treant, she's going to look at Constog and say, "You broke an agreement with the treant?"
I would never have done something like this if I could avoid it. But we
It's
did.
beyond our control. We didn't break an agreement with a treant.
We did though.
We're still on the same mission.
I don't
We
know
haven't
that
actually finished the previous mission. Like, the treant's gonna come. I know the treant's not gonna understand this, but we're still actually at the end of that mission. So we actually.
Well, I want to know as much as I can so that perhaps there's a way. I don't wish to kill treants.
Mistakes were made. It's, memories were wiped. Things happen.
Can I do a knowledge nature on treants? Just, I guess Niev's trying to think of.
Yeah.
All right. Niev's trying to think of how would they react if she tried to talk to them, perhaps try and settle things diplomatically. She doesn't wish to kill plant or creatures like that, but
Yeah, so treants are they're very slow to change creatures unless very significant things happen. So it's not that they won't change or that they can't have their ideas or feelings changed, but it may take them time to think about it and to give you a decision. And in the meantime, it's also slow for them to stop what they're doing and to recognize that they may need to do this. And so there could still be collateral damage even if you're doing everything right.
Oh, they are giant trees, living, talking ambulatory trees.
Yeah, but eventually they can be brought around to reason.
What was the spell that you were supposed to use to regrow the plants?
Plant growth, I believe.
Plant.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we don't really have the time to go and try and do this.
If
Between
Kandor
now-
has this here, then it's already in motion. Wherever this thing is, it's probably most of the way here. Part of what I'm summoned here for is to get things prepared for what's about to happen. I cannot stick around and have any direct impact on this. I am contractually obligated to my neutrality. As such, the most I can do is provide some insight and offer you very light assistance. But it must be very light.
What does that look like?
I can answer questions that you might have. Things that you need to know about what is going on that you might yourselves not have access to an understanding of. My agreement is to make sure that information is there at the times it's supposed to be. Sort of a referee in these circumstances. I don't necessarily make the rules, but I do keep them. So, feel free. What questions you have? likely things that Kandor would never bother to answer to you. If I know the answers, I will share them.
Okay, so the base has Stevelo on it, right?
Some kind of thing from Stevelore, yes.
Okay, and then the third thing is Gort.
Yes.
And then the triettes are represented by the cookie jar with, what is this saying?
Oatmeal bark cookies.
Oatmeal bar cookies. Is there 3 things or 4 things?
3 things.
3 things.
I am a font of information. Ask what you wish, and I will answer it.
Okay,
Okay.
what's the best way for us to deal with these things when they come?
It depends which of them poses a greater threat to you, and which of them is more interested in what you have, versus just killing you. What is more important to you, your life, or the success of your mission? That is what you should decide.
I mean, I think the mission needs to succeed, and that's why I'm going with the Suspiro demons, the demons, because they were trying to stop us from completing the mission, correct?
That is correct. The daemons will be most interested in ceasing your mission. Gort will likely be coming here. And while his intentions may ultimately ruin the mission, my assumption is that his goal is ultimately to kill Kandor. So that will likely be his focus, and
So he would focus, though, on killing us first in order to get to
if you were protecting
Well, we got-
Kandor, if you chose to let Kandor be killed, that would be a whole nother story. However, without Kandor there, he would probably then go for you. My theory is he is very likely being promised that his best way out of the simulation is to kill Kandor. Which is not technically untrue. If Kandor is to fall, much of his magic will start to unravel, especially the magic that allows Gort to maintain that body. I've thought of it myself. Sometimes I think that killing Kandor would be better for all of us.
Oh, jeez. Do you
So
mean
what do we
say
need
that
to
out
do now?
loud?
Yes.
Our mission.
Yes, I did. What?
What do we need to do now to complete our mission?
The object must be assembled, which will take some time, but the moment the assembly of the object begins, everything here will come to you. This object, and he points to the cookie jar, this treant, if you're correct, will likely just be coming here with bad timing. And unfortunately, the way that this world seems to work, things often synchronize at the times we want them least to. Gort will be coming here strategically. I'm sure they're watching and waiting for the spark of strong magic that comes from somewhere in the area, and they will most certainly teleport Gort here at their first convenience.
You don't think that Gort would use the portrait to try and get around our defenses and get Kandor?
The portrait has now been disabled. This was
Okay.
why Kandor had specifically asked all of you to make sure you had done what you need to do before coming back here.
Is it Kandor that will be putting together the elements into...
Yes, and it
Yeah,
will take him some measure of time, so do not expect him to be able to aid you in combat while he is assembling it and activating it.
Did we get him the last element?
You have the last element on you. He'll be coming up for it, I'm assuming,
Okay,
soon.
so he'll come to get it. Gotcha.
Yes.
I mean, if we think we could head out the treants, it might be worth it. But I don't think we can, because I think by the time they decide what they're going to do, they're literally going to be standing in front of this building.
Well, the treants' desire will be a tit for tat. They don't tend to be the type of creatures that want to kill people, but they might make a show of it by taking down your home. So their focus may not be necessarily on killing you, but just making sure, like, I'll knock down your house and we'll call it even. cool. I'm going home now.
Sounds good to me. I don't live here.
No, but we can't afford for them to knock down the house while Candor's presumably inside putting the object together.
He will not be able to do it outside. The object must have access to open air and sun in order to activate. It also cannot be on any sort of non-organic ground, or I'm sorry, non-composite. Basically any non-manufactured. That's the word I'm looking for. On non-manufactured ground. So the building's protection will be unable to help him. It must be able to reach into the earth and into the sky to complete its activation.
Ah.
However, if it does knock parts of the house around, there is a good likelihood that they will fly towards any of you and potentially him, and disrupt his activities.
So, this is not a throwing you under the bus move, but since you are a druid, maybe you can, tree talk those treants, let them, know that we're getting there, that hopefully once this is done, we'll be able to go do some planting. And, they can wreck this house once we've got our machine put together.
Well, I do intend on trying to talk to them. Hopefully, I can be pretty persuasive sometimes.
So, and I think we should just kill Gort.
Wow.
I feel...
Was that Steven or Abram?
That was Abram. Abram was very surprised.
I feel that I don't know Gord as well as you, but he doesn't seem like that there's any reasoning with him. He only sees the world in specific ways, and there's no way to come to any understanding. I don't relish killing someone, but at the same time, we can't just let him kill Candor either.
Well, I mean, if the needle trick doesn't work to extract him, we may find ourselves there.
I think that we should, at the very least, mentally prepare that might be something we have to do.
So.
Well, it is not. It is always a shame to put down a friend.
Yeah, of course. Close friend. Friend. Yeah, that's the operating word there. Friend. All right.
Is this all you want to know? There's more than I know.
I want to know what more that you know.
Tell us it all.
And you have to learn the right questions to ask. One cannot learn the answers without learning the right questions.
Okay, what are the right questions?
The right questions are questions which are precise, analytical, and useful to oneself. The wrong questions are questions that are open-ended, pointless, and uninformative.
Well, that's a great answer.
Can you tell us about the, or I guess we might already know, like the strategies if diplomacy doesn't work with the treants?
Unfortunately, I am not a strategist, but trees do burn very easily. Perhaps set them ablaze if they will not listen, though I do feel it sad every time a treant has to leave this world. I'm not exactly one for nature, but they've been here a long time, and it's always sad when the natural things happen to leave.
Yeah, so I feel bad about the treants. Way more bad about the treants than Gorts.
Okay, so you don't know strategy. What do you know?
Information. Not strategy. Strategy is its own thing.
Okay, well, what information other than fire are there things we could do that, would just get them to leave without having to kill them?
I do not know what goes on in the minds of others, and this tree will be an other. And so I cannot unfortunately tell you the best words to say or the best actions to take, for I know not what his actions will be. If you can figure out what his actions will be by discerning his demeanor and his interests and his distastes, then you can possibly work the situation to your advantage.
Do you know, are treants more kindly disposed towards Fae versus other people?
A treant is... They are more inclined to those things of the same region they are from. But, they may become quite wordy if they think that you're someone they can speak with about, tales from long ago. So it may be a positive if you were to change their mind, but you might also have them constantly bothered that they're not able to get your attention proper while they're trying to tell you a story of the olden times. Or ask you if you remember some of their cherished friends that they don't see anymore.
We tell the treant we won't be able to go back to plant the trees until we deal with the Suspiro demon. So if the treant wants to help us with the Suspiro demons, so we can go back to planting quicker. Or we could just tell the treant,
well, you're making an assumption about which daemon it will be, but...
Yeah, well, I'm just using it for the daemons. Or we can tell the treants that Gort, they can have Gort as our prisoner until we go back and plant the trees.
I don't think that you're able to perform such an act. You do not seem the slavish type.
So, and then and then they should go immediately capture him.
He will not be so easily fooled.
No, I know. But, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That is true. However, please keep in mind that daemons may oftentimes have access to fire, and your request for the treant to help you might ultimately result in the treant's death. If this is not a concern to you, then it does not bother me, except for the sad death of another friend.
But I don't want them to die in a blaze of fire, and that could be more information when we attempt to deal with them diplomatically. There's going to be a lot of fire-using extra-dimensional creatures here.
Potentially. You may end up with one that does not. I do not know the nature of what is to come.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna plan for that. We're gonna plan for the worst.
And hope for the best, I'd assume?
No, I'm gonna hope for the worst. I'm gonna expect the worst. I'm thinking Narthlahotep's gonna come and tear the planet in half.
Ah, good old Narthlahotep. Have not seen him in a long time, but that was several planes away.
Okay, so what about the rest of the party?
Fabulous.
If there are no further questions, then I will need to take my leave.
But all my questions are strategy, and you said you can't do that.
Not a strategist.
What would be a good breakfast we could have tomorrow when dealing with these guys?
I'm not as much a breakfast person, but I do love a good toast and jam with a nice green tea. It's a great way to wake up in the morning. My jam of choice is blueberry.
Do you feel more heroic after having such a feast?
No, just awake and alive.
I'm going to make a note of that I'm going to have blueberry jam, if there is any, and green tea.
There will be berry jam and green tea.
Yeah. I'll go with
Well, it will be green-colored tea It is dried, seeped leaves of something that does taste tea-like. I guess pressed and rolled.
Well, I got nothing, guys.
I have heard, though, that it is best to, if you're going to be active in engaging in a fight, to stock up on proteins and fats beforehand.
Okay. All right. Oh, yeah.
That's usually if you're going to be working your muscles and whatnot. And he'll, like, hold up his long, kind of lanky arm and be like, I have no such thing, though, so please do not count on me for advice in that category.
Is there anything I can roll to help me think of good questions?
No. Unfortunately, the best questions cannot be determined by the randomness of the world, but merely by the randomness of the person.
Any idea of how long it'll take Candor to put this together?
Yes. It will take Candor roughly 2 minutes of uninterrupted work to finish the process. During the construction.
Like once he has the item from us, it'll only take him 2 minutes?
Yes.
But that could be like, I don't know, 26-second intervals.
It is important to keep in mind, though, that is uninterrupted. If he chooses to stop to help you, or you ask him for aid, or if something comes along and happens to engage him, this will delay his ability to assemble things. This is where your friend Gort may be a problem. If Gort is all over him, it may impede Candor's ability to properly put things together, delaying him by any amount of time.
I have the ability to hide a campsite. If I were to cast that around Candor, would that not make him harder to see and therefore harder to...
These creatures will all be able to see through whatever it is you place there. When he activates the object, it makes things as they were. You won't have to worry that things will sneak up on you, because there is a sort of purifying element of this that makes what is currently around you most true. But at the same time, you won't be able to hide him as well. Again, this has to do with the nature of the object needing direct ability to reach both ends, unimpeded by anything, including magics. Otherwise, we would likely just make him invisible and a number of other things, and he would be easy to hide. Good thought, though.
Again, what happens when he's done with the object?
When he completes the object, he should have given you a series of requests. If you have any, each of you should be allowed one, if I'm not mistaken. You should speak them. If not, there will be no input. If not, there will be no changes made. There will be no impact, and things will complete. And whatever happens after that will not impact the greater scope of the world.
I just mean like in terms of these enemies that we're going to be dealing with. If not all of them have come, or if we're in the middle of combat when it finishes, does him completing it have any impact?
If Candor completes the ritual and you have chosen the option that is to protect, to make sure the ritual completes, your potential life or death is dependent upon you. The object will be done. The object will leave the area and will once more hide itself as it is supposed to. The world will begin its process of changing, but in the meantime, your life or death will be in your own hands. Candor will be able to help you at such point, though.
Okay, there's no benefit for us other than Candor being able to help and us getting our, potentially, to put in our one request.
What do you mean by there's no benefit to you for help, to help?
Like, in terms of if we're in combat, like, it's not like the combat ends or people retreat because this is finished.
Yes. They will not be interested in finishing. When there is a chance that the daemon might retreat once the ritual is complete. I'm not entirely sure, but Stevelor doesn't have interests in Candor. Stevelor has interests in what the object can do. It's my theory that if Candor were to die, Stevelor's minions would still collect the object, and they would still want to complete the object. They have their own objectives and agendas. It would just be different changes. Different setting things right. What?
Do you know what Stevelor's objectives are?
I unfortunately cannot read the minds of others. And especially not his, and I would rather not. But I am sure it will most likely not be to the benefit of any living kind. But I will guarantee the world will probably be more economically sound.
Well, that's always good.
Yes. Well, I would say that I lean towards wanting all of you and Candor to be successful. I am not too worried if Stevelor happens to win either. There is not much that I lose in that proposition. I would be much more worried if others were more interested in this circumstance. However, none of them have as of yet, according to Candor, expressed any direct interest. But if they did, I am sure they would easily be able to have their own interactions. Perhaps things could change. There's not much time. And as Candor says, I never speak into a vacuum even when I think I am, so.
Michelle said power went out and her computer's restarting.
Okay.
Well, I know I personally don't fear for my own life. If I would rather see Candor succeed and the world be protected than to worry about my own life, whether I live or die. I don't want necessarily to die, but I think giving my life that the world be protected would be a good thing.
I have agreed, and I think we need to do whatever it takes to make sure Candor completes the building of the machine.
Good. I am curious as to what Stevelor would do if he was successful. I think it could be quite interesting. But I digress. My interests for the purposes of science are probably not things that you all care to hear about.
Nope.
Have you any other questions?
I can't think of anything, but I feel like, you know, when you're about to take a test and they ask if you have any questions and you don't think of it right away until afterwards.
Well, that is an unfortunate thing that happens to many people, where they lose out on the things because their mind can't necessarily remember cannot necessarily think of it in the moment. But that is part of the joy of being in the moment, and the pain of being in the moment. These two things are necessary for all of us to get the best understanding and value out of our existence. What little of it some of us may have.
Why do you choose to remain neutral?
Neutrality is an often very overlooked thing. I tend to find that people do not understand the value in not messing around with what is and how it should be. The world does what it will, as it will, and if we could all learn to just allow the world to do as it wills, and just live in it, things would likely be for the better of everyone. But, unfortunately, everyone else has their own objectives, whether they be good, bad, or right, or wrong. These things are... they are what they are. And it results in a lot of wasted time and effort. when you could just as easily keep your nose out of things and let things be as they will. It keeps things as they should be, nice and balanced. So I will watch, and I will let the world flow as it will flow. And I will hope for the success of some things, because it may be better. But one never knows when something will be better. Many, many years ago, hundreds of years ago now, there was a great calamity that occurred where the dark gods, the gods that you all would refer to as evil, ruled this world. They were the only gods. No one was allowed to worship the good gods. That was heresy. That was to basically submit your life to the will of others. But from that came the Great Revolution. Now, the good gods are much more pronounced. People honor them, people worship them, and people think nothing of most of the dark gods. They think them mundane, stupid, or just have a vehement hatred for them. All but one. People sure do love secrets. It's like a favorite of people.
I do know of someone who very much hated Thoth.
A lot of people that hate him. A lot of people that love him. Very polarizing character. He's not as bad as he seems, but he is an asshole.
Yes, well. I've never really been one for any particular deity. I just have been in the presence of those that were.
They are ultimately not much different than all of us. They are trying to do what they all believe is best for this world, is the right course for this world. And their ethos do match it. I don't fault anyone for these beliefs, for agreeing with these beliefs and these understandings. In some ways, each of them is an important piece of how everything works, and does contribute well to the continued continuance of society and life itself.
Well, I appreciate you answering our questions. Can anybody think of anything else to ask Abram?
Nope. My best one was, what would he have for breakfast?
Well, this was rather fun, and perhaps one day I can do it some more when people realize quite fully what they have on their hands and the things that they could have answered. But
Yeah.
it is interesting for now, and perhaps that will be a hint for next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
And
Goodbye.
he'll just kind of fade away.
Do you
Oh.
think he meant his literal hands on our literal hands?
That was...
Was it like a spell, or did
Not that you know of. Like, he just vanished.
Oh,
There was seemingly no spell cast. But you do give me a knowledge arcana, actually. That would be more of the thing that would be what needed here. Yeah,
I
so
don't have
this stinks of contingency. You completed the asking of questions, which is a contingent thing, which caused him to either disappear or perhaps be teleported or plane shift, or there was no residue left behind, but there's lots of ways to make that happen.
Yeah.
but probably contingency. As he disappears, you will hear the shaking and rumbling of the staircase as it opens up. And that's where we will end for tonight. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Good night.